Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Come in here and sit down with me. This is like that little roadside stand, on the internet superhighway. You can pull your car off to the side, get out and get some fresh goodies. I got fresh goodies for you here on Daily Dose Radio because we study the Psalms verse by verse every day. 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. And so today we're looking at verses 4, 5, and 6 in Psalm 35. Now, Psalm 35 is going to take us 2 weeks. Started yesterday with the first 3 verses. Beautiful imagery yesterday. The Lord rising up violently, grabbing the buckler and the shield and drawing out the spear from its holster and standing in the breach to say hello to my enemies, to my pursuers, David calls them. And then David says, say to my soul, I am your salvation. Because, ladies and gentlemen, so many times in life we find that we have a breach in the soul, and we need someone to fill the breach because the enemy rushes in. He rushes in and he wants to destroy us. And that enemy of the soul, we know him by lots of names. He's that old dragon. He's that serpent that was in the garden. He's that one who tempted Christ in the wilderness. He is the enemy of the soul. He's Satan, Lucifer. He's the one who is trying to destroy the image of God in us. And so we say to the Lord, because only the Lord can fill the gap. He's the only one that can fill the breach and say howdy to the enemy when he tries to come in. Today, verses 4, 5, and 6, make ashamed and confounded those who seek my soul. May they shrink back and be reproached, who esteem my affliction. May they be like the chaff before the wind, the angel of the Lord pushing. May their way be dark and slippery, the angel of the Lord persecuting them. David is praying, continuing to pray here. He began in verse 2, violently take hold of buckler and shield. Now he says, make ashamed and confounded those who seek my soul. So the ones trying to come in through the break, through the breach, those are the ones trying to seek the soul. They want to destroy the soul. They want to shrink the soul. But David says, may they shrink back and be reproached, who esteem my affliction. Yeah, and we just had Psalm 34, the afflicted man's psalm was Psalm 34, and affliction comes in lots of ways, but one of the ways it comes is by the hand of the enemy. And those who esteem my affliction, they're the ones that David is praying about here, the enemy who wishes nothing more than for the poor man to be afflicted. May they be like the chaff before the wind. Okay, now we understand that imagery, right? In Israel in ancient times, they would glean the crop from the field. They would take it to a high point because in Israel, the wind is blowing all day long. It calms down in the evening, but most of the day you have a lovely breeze, especially in the summertime. And so they would take it to the top of a hill, and they would thresh it. They would beat it so that the grain falls out, and then they would, with great big shovels, they would toss the grain into the air, and the wind then would take the lighter chaff and blow it off. The heavier grain would fall back to the threshing floor. And so when David says, may they be like the chaff before the wind, that is, that they just blown away. They have no weight to stay. And so he says, may the wind blow them like chaff, the angel of the Lord pushing them. Well, where's the angel of the Lord going to push them? And then he goes on to say, may their way be dark and slippery. So they're on their way, whatever way that is, being pushed by the wind, being pushed by the angel of the Lord, and it's dark and slippery. Of course, this is a theme that we find in many of the Psalms when David says, make my footing sure, make their footing slippery. Principally, we see that in Psalm 73. Those that are prideful and arrogant find that they're really standing on slippery places, and soon enough, they're no longer there. because they've fallen. Here he says it's the very same thing. May their way be dark and slippery so that they fall. The angel of the Lord persecuting them. The angel of the Lord is doing a lot of work here, isn't it? So David is praying that these folk who seek his affliction, who esteem his affliction, that they would fall and be driven away. Well, I think we can all pray that prayer, can't we? Not against individuals. That's not right. We're not praying for them. If you're going to pray against somebody who doesn't like you, pray that they get saved. Pray that they come to find Jesus as their Lord and Savior. Pray that they come to know the goodness of the Lord. Oh, taste and see, as we had there in Psalm 34. Oh, taste and see. The Lord is good. Well, instead of praying against folk like this, we're to pray for them that they would find God's mercy. But this prayer is against the enemy of the soul. And we should pray against that. We should pray that he doesn't make his way through the breach, because he wants nothing more than for you to be afflicted. Pray that the Lord would keep you from the hand of the enemy, just like Jesus taught us to pray in the Lord's Prayer. So this is the prayer. It's not against humans. It's not against individuals. This is against the enemy of the soul, which is Satan, and all of his minions. All right. We will continue tomorrow looking at verses 7, 8, and 9, a prayer for the soul, here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.